Good morning, children. In this lesson, poverty as a challenge, as we have discussed how poverty is an important problem in the society. What are the poverty issues we are facing? So, we also have studied that it's very clear that there is a substantial decline in poverty also in India. So, poverty is also declining. Today we are going to study the poverty estimates, how the poverty has come down in our country. So, from these ratios, different ratios are there according to the year wise, how from the after independence, how poverty has come down or declined in our country. It's about very clear that about 45% okay, poverty existed in our country in 1993-94 period. 1993-94 period, there was 45% of the people were poor. Okay, so it has come down again in 2004 and 5. 2004 to 5, this period, it has come down to 37.2%. Further declines we can find in 2011-12 period, it has come down up to 22%. So the poverty level is decreasing. We know the number of people belonging to the poverty line or under the poverty line has come down to the 22% in 2011-12. Okay, so here we know that if this trend continues, we know this declining trend continues in the coming years, we know there will be a further decline about 22% again. Okay, so it can come to 22%. Here it has come down up to 2011-12. Then again there will be a 20% of decline in poverty in the coming years. Okay, so future in the coming years we can find out less number of poor people or their poverty can be completely wiped out from our country. So here in 1973 to 1993, this period we know there is a substantial decline in poverty. So number of poor people declined from 407 million to 270 million. Okay, from this period when we are calculating from the previous years, we know that the number of people or the poor people from 407 million, it has come down to 270 million. Okay, so in 2011 census, 11-12 census, it has come down the total number of people to 407 million to 270 million of the people are poor now. Okay, so here there is a substantial decrease or decline in the poverty. So mostly when we are calculating the poverty, we know not all the people, all groups of people are vulnerable to poverty. Particular groups of people, that we will study, that some social groups and economic groups are there. Social groups, we know that some people who belong to particular community or the caste. In our country we know there is a division of caste or people belonging to different castes or different communities. So here largely the vulnerable groups in the social division or the social groups who are especially belonging to the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, which we often say SC and ST. So these community are particularly belonging to the vulnerable groups who are most affected of poverty. When we are taking the economic groups, which people are economically backward or poor people are especially in the rural areas and urban areas, there is a difference. In rural areas we can find agricultural laborers. Largely economically vulnerable people are largely in the rural areas. Agricultural laborers or the workers who are working in the agriculture field, or they go for the agriculture as work as agricultural laborers. That is the condition of rural area. When we are taking the example of urban area, we can find out large number of casual workers are there in the urban area, they do not find jobs every day. So there sometimes seasonal works are available, especially in the rural area. Also agricultural works are seasonal work also. So all through the year they do not find jobs. Especially now in the urban area, casual laborers are there, and in the rural area, agricultural labor households. So these people are economically vulnerable in the aspect of economic groups, and others are the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in the social groups. Among the social groups are vulnerable or prone to the poverty. So here we know about this poverty also has coming declining. Okay, the poverty in the urban area and the rural area also are declining. We know that in our country all these average people below the poverty line from all groups are 22%. From all the groups, the 22% of people are very poor in our country. Out of 43 out of 100 people, 100% or 43% of people belonging to the scheduled tribes are not able to meet their basic needs. Okay, 43% of the scheduled tribes are not able to get the basic amenities, no food, no health facilities, no shelter. Okay, so this is the condition of our country. And similarly 34% of the casual workers in the urban areas also fall below the poverty line. 34% of the casual workers in the urban area also fall below the poverty line. About 34% of the casual labor farm, casual labor farm also are there in our country, and 29% of the scheduled caste who are belonging to the scheduled caste also come under poverty. We can find largely these people are landless laborers. They do not have casual laborers, or the agricultural laborers are landless people. They do not have land mostly, and they may be living in slums. Especially in the rural urban areas, we can find a large number of casual workers are living in slums only, slum area. So they are denied basic facilities. There is no proper drinking water facility, no proper electricity facility, no hygienic, it's not, there is no proper hygiene. All this, their surroundings, all these people are vulnerable to poverty. So largely in the urban areas, slums are there. In rural areas, all these landless people or landless laborers are living outskirts of the village. Okay, so there is particular area for these people to live. All these poor people are away from the mainstream of the society. Okay, so here some recent studies have shown that except for the scheduled tribe households, all the other three groups like scheduled caste, rural agricultural laborers, and the urban casual labor households, they have seen a decline in poverty in 1990s. Okay, that means the three groups like the except the scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, urban casual laborers, and rural agricultural laborers, there is a steady decline in their poverty, except the scheduled tribes, because they are, why the scheduled tribes are there is no decline in poverty, because they are living in the forested regions or the hilly regions away from the mainstream of the society. It is difficult for the government to arrange proper facilities, basic amenities for these people. So apart from all these social groups, there is also inequality of incomes within the family. In a family itself, within a family itself, some people and all the members do not have equal incomes. So we can find in poor families, everyone suffers. All people are suffering from poverty, but some other cases we can find some areas, some of the middle classes, women, elderly people, and female infants. These are people are denied equal access to resources available to the family. Middle class families especially, we can take the example, women are not getting the proper identification, women, elderly people and female children. So these groups within the family are also considered unequal. They are not getting the equal consideration of males in the society, males in the family. Now we will study about the story of Shivaraman. From this story we understand how the condition or the situation of poor people are in the poor families. Shivaraman lives in a small village near Karur town in Tamil Nadu. This is the story of Tamil Nadu. He lives in a small village near Karur town in Tamil Nadu. Karur is famous for its handloom and powerloom fabrics. Handloom and powerloom cloths are also produced from here. There are 100 families in the village. Shivaraman, he is also belonging to cobbler family. He belongs to the cobbler caste, but now he works as an agricultural laborer. We know that there are no work continuously for him. He belongs to the cobbler caste, so that now without getting proper work, he is working as agricultural laborer. So here for 160 rupees per day, he is getting 160 rupees per day. That is not only for 5 to 6 months in a year. We know that agricultural works is seasonal. So he is getting all 4 or 5 months or 5 to 6 months in a year the work. At other times he does some odd jobs in the town. He goes to the town and do some other works. Okay, no particular proper work. Whatever the works he gets, he does there in the town. So here his wife also, Shashikala, also works with him, but she can also rarely find work in these days, and even if she does, she is paid 100 rupees per day as the same work Shivaraman does. Sometimes both of the husband and wife both go to the agriculture field for working, but Shivaraman gets 160 per day and his wife gets 100 rupees only. Even though both are doing the same labor or same work, women are paid less. That is the condition we can understand here. Women are paid less wages comparing men. So there are 8 members in their family. Shivaraman's 65-year-old widowed mother. She is ill and needs to be helped with her daily chores. Shivaraman's mother, she is aged and she is ill. She is also not well and she has to get the help of the family. He has a 25-year-old unmarried sister also. See, another member, unmarried sister also is in his home, and he also has to take care of his sister. He also has some children. 4 children are there, aged between 1 year to 16 years. 3 of them are girls and the youngest is son. None of the girls go to school, and buying books and other things for the school going girls is a luxury and he cannot afford. 3 girls and 1 boy. His son is the youngest one and no children are going to school, and he cannot buy the books for the children, so that not sending them to school. So here also he has got them married, and why he is feeling that not sending them, that he has no money. Also he is worried about their marriages when they are grown up. He has to send the girls to be married and send so that he needs to save money for that. Even though he is not having enough to save, he is thinking that money cannot be wasted now sending the daughters to school. Also he is planning to send his son to school when he becomes elder. Also food also they are not providing. He is not providing sufficient food also because of lack of money. He is unable to provide for food also for his family. And he is providing, sometimes he is buying milk, that is weekly once only. that is only for his son, not for other members also. He is planning to send his son to school also, but it's a dream for him. Now both of these husband and wife are working but not finding the regular jobs. Okay, so sometimes he is unable to arrange 2 meals per day for the family. Sometimes they are getting 1 time food only, not even 2 times food also. So Shivarama manages to buy the milk once in a week, that is only for his son also. So this is the condition of Shivarama's family, how he is struggling. As the poor people, this is the condition of all the poor in the villages who are below the poverty line. So in the coming class we will study about what is the difference of interstate disparities in the poverty, in depending upon the different states, how the trend exists in different states.